Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. Let me tell you, sometimes the bullshit is just so overwhelming, it exhausts me. It sucks the life straight out of me. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel. What I do during the day here is I kind of sift through the mainstream propaganda ministries. I want to hear what they have to say. And today, it almost takes the cake every day. And today was, again, one of those days. So this is my post-market wrap-up on this Wednesday, August 10, 2022, in case I didn't say that. I'm so mentally screwed up here. So a rip-roaring rally across the board today. Dow Jones Industrial Average up like 540 points. S&P 500 higher than NASDAQ. Really taking off. What else would you expect? When you got the government pumping tens of billions of dollars into tech companies. And where's the public outcry? Oh, there is none. Oh, that's right. They've been distracted with Mar-a-Lago. They're all up in arms about that, but nothing else matters to them. This is the society we have today. They are sheep. They are told where to look, how long to look at it, and everything else connected to it. It's such a freak show. So on the back of this here, we got a pretty big, not to me or you, but we got a pretty big piece of information here. And it doesn't surprise me. It won't surprise you. This is not the first time we've heard this. So Bank of America here, Bank of America is warning, again, of a debt market liquidity issue. Now, does that sound familiar to you? Basically, what they're telling you is the debt market is illiquid. Let's put a little perspective on that, just real quick. We know, you and me, I guess everyone knows, it's public knowledge that the European Central Bank is in here buying it all. They're buying debt across the entire Eurozone. Now, there are some people that don't believe. They don't believe the Federal Reserve is doing it because it wasn't announced. They have to hear it to believe it. They can't trust their own eyeballs, their own ears, nor their own intellect. The one thing you need to know, if you follow this blog, is these two central banks, they work in tandem. When one does one thing, the other must follow suit. They are tag teaming the world here, and they're bringing the world economy to its knees. They're creating slaves on a national scale, on a national level, and also on an individual level too. That's their goal here. So what's going on here? And again, this is no surprise to anybody. I have been saying for years that at one point, we're going to march into a lockup of the entire system, a liquidity freeze. Let me explain this to you yet another way. The entire financial system is illiquid. It's insolvent, okay? If you look at, let's say, one particular asset, let's just look at a particular company's stock. How about Apple? You like Apple stock? Well, whether you like Apple stock or not, what you must understand is you have the face value, whatever the stock may be trading at any particular time. And then you have multiple layers of derivatives underneath it and above it, whether they're calls and or puts. Layers and layers and layers of derivative bets. Derivatives are, what are they again? You know what these things are, people. A derivative is a financial instrument. Sounds fancy, huh? That derives value from an underlying asset. Nobody knows how big the derivative market actually is. It doesn't even exist. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not real. but that's how the system functions, okay? And when we're talking about the debt market as a whole, which is the biggest hyper bubble on the face of the earth, how many times have I explained to you that we have a debt-based economic model? And the debt-based economic model, in order to function moment to moment, minute to minute, nanosecond to nanosecond, must do one thing. It must continue to grow. The debt must continually grow and swell. And between central bankers and corrupt politicians, they're going to create things you can't even believe, like something called the Inflation Reduction Act here, where they have to borrow more cash to reduce inflation. Really? This is how stupid they believe people are. They can sell you anything here, and there's no revolt, there's no uproar, but look at Mar-a-Lago. Pay attention to that. It's crazy. But let me just, give some kudos here out. Bank of America is absolutely right here. The whole system is illiquid. The whole system is insolvent, and without continually borrowing, creating reasons to do it, it's over. Mad Max. Okay, that's where we're going. So the real reason, the backbone of why the European Central Bank is in here buying it all, why the Federal Reserve is following suit, why they're making sure they keep rates suppressed, is to keep adding liquid to the system, or liquidity, or imaginary liquidity, in the form of this repo scam that goes on every night to the tune of trillions of dollars. I told you about this a million times. Why is it that the Federal Reserve is passing trillions of dollars back and forth between institutions overnight? Why do they do this? What's the real secret behind it? They're faking liquidity. They're making the system appear more liquid than it is. Why do you think, for example, that these swaps that occur every single night are getting larger and larger? You can't make this stuff up. But this is stuff you will never hear about and you will never learn about anywhere. It's amazing. Talking about learning here, I'm gonna read a definition to you. This is the definition of a recession. Pay attention real quick, and you can look it up for yourself, but whatever. So a recession is defined as a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced. Does that kind of sound like where we are right now? Duh. How about yeah? Okay, let's move forward here. It is identified by a fall in gross domestic product in 2 consecutive quarters. How about that happen too? But you got these people here being floated out on the mainstream media and everywhere else trying to redefine what a recession is, because we can't possibly be in one now. Do you know why we can't possibly be in a recession? Because our economy is so strong. It's so strong that President Biden just had to sign the China Competition Act, which is going to cost I don't know how much, and that's where we're sending tens of billions of dollars to tech companies because they're so strong. Our economy is so strong. Our economy is in free fall globally. All right. This is the mission of central banks right now, to destroy it all, to wipe out a class of people. I'm talking about the middle class, all of them. They want you dead. You have a target on your face. I've been telling you this for years. What have I been saying? You have a tattoo on your face. Go look in the mirror. You can't see it? Trust me, it's there if you're a member of the middle class. Now, it's interesting, going back to this miraculous, it's insane. So consumer prices rise, according to what they're telling you, 8.5% year over year, and it's shockingly great because they were expecting an 8.7. They're trying to feed you the more bullshit than you can possibly consume, all right? How many of you believe that number is real? That's number one. Number two, if you're watching CNBC today, they're floating out creatures. Things, the prostitutes, let's call them what they are. Okay, they're selling their souls on television here to try to tell you, oh, prices are coming down. You can see prices are coming down. Really? Do you see prices coming down? It's just what they're trying to do. It's always the same story. Float these people out or some freak out to try to tell you some kind of story that's totally contrary to what you're seeing with your own eyes. Okay, but you know that. Let me tell you something else about this number, this miraculous inflation number, which is completely 100% false. It's going to be revised, okay, and it's going to be revised higher. Oh, but you can't know that. No, it doesn't matter. You see, the market got its reaction. You get this rally here on Wall Street. You got the Fed making sure that you're keeping the debt market stable. Bank of America here warning the liquidity here in the debt market. Duh, make that up too. Can't make it up. It's impossible to do. Oh yeah, then we got Neil Kashkari, the Lex Luthor of the Federal Reserve himself. This fantastic inflation report proves, it's our first sign that inflation's getting better. Really, do you believe Neil, Lex Luthor, Kashkari? I wonder if you do. Something tells me you don't. Now, I don't believe him either. I think he's full of shit beyond his freaking eyeballs here. So, anyway, look, that's essentially the whole freaking story today. You want to talk about a freak show that gets more freaky every day? Well, you're in it. It can't possibly get any more freaky. And you know what it does? It makes me freaking sweat. I'm sweating. When I get worked up. I sincerely get worked up over this stuff because it's out of control. But this is all stuff that you and me knew about anyway. Does any of this surprise you? How about no? I don't think there's a single one of you who has followed this blog for any length of time who thinks this is shocking, surprising, or anything at all like that. I don't think so. No. All right, people, before I really do have a meltdown, I think I'm going to get going. But I do want to hear from you. What do you think? Please comment. I will read the comments. I always read the comments. I try to write back to some of you here and there, honestly. And, well, we're going to keep it together. I think so. And I will see all of you tomorrow morning. And it's going to be just as freaky. It's a freak show. I guess I'm part of it. I don't know. We're living it. We're living in the freak show, so I guess we're all part of it, right? All right, I'm out here. Love you a lot. Share the video. Comment. See you in the morning.